Welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you are visiting our channel, please subscribe to our channel. Prominent opposition leaders including Peterobi, Atiku Abubakar, Rotimi Amechi, Rabiu Musa Kwakwanso, David Mark, Rauf Areboshola, and Aminu Tambuwal took to the streets of Abuja in a mass protest. The march began at the Maitama roundabout and ended at the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission (Inec). The protesters were seen holding the banner of African Democratic Congress (the ADC) as they led Save Our Democracy March. Remarkably, the demonstrators sang Nigeria's old national anthem, Arise O Compatriot, even though it was officially replaced in 2024. Protesters chanted Ojoro, a popular Nigerian slang meaning manipulation and unfairness, while carrying placards with messages like Tinubu, why are you afraid? Judges must give justice and let democracy breathe. Security forces were not resting either. The cable reported that the security personnel from multiple agencies were stationed at strategic points around Inec Maitama's headquarters, restricting movement as tensions rose. So how did it get here? Let's break it down. The ADC became a household name months ago after political heavyweights from both opposition and ruling parties decamped to form a coalition. However, a major controversy erupted when Inec announced it will no longer recognize the David Mark-led ADC leadership, citing an existing factional dispute and a court of appeal judgment. According to ADC National Chairman David Mark, the party followed due process. A National Executive Committee meeting held on July 29, 2025 was monitored by Inec, and Inec formally acknowledged the new leadership structure, including uploading the names of party executives on September 9, 2025. However, a dispute arose when a former party official, Nafiu Bala, who had earlier resigned, returned to court seeking recognition as chairman. Mark warned that INEC's action could also jeopardize the party's participation in upcoming governorship elections in Osun and Ekiti State, as well as disrupt internal Congress scheduled to begin on 9th April and National Convention on April 14th. Now let's hear directly from the leaders themselves. Atiku Abubakar wrote on his X handle that he and fellow ADC leaders were peacefully protesting against the partisanship of the electoral umpire, adding that their patriotic stance is aimed at safeguarding democracy and preventing the enthronement of dictatorship. Addressing the crowd, Rotimi Amechi urged Nigerians to seize their opportunity and resist political manipulation, calling on citizens to stand up for the integrity of the nation's democracy. Tambuwal said the protest was driven by a collective commitment to ensuring that Nigeria's electoral process remains credible, fair, transparent, stressing that we must resist any attempt to undermine undemocratic institutions or pave the way for authoritarian tendencies. Peterobi has earlier called on well-meaning Nigerians and lovers of democracy to join the protest. The ADC leaders collectively declared, "We call on all lovers of democracy to join us in this journey to save the world's largest black democracy from this growing civilian dictatorship. We call on civil society groups to join us in this task of saving our democracy and our beloved nation. This is the time to stand up and be counted. Political analysts and media commentators have been very vocal. Champion newspaper delivered a chilling warning in a major editorial this week, writing that democracy does not always die with the crack of a gunfire or tanks in the public square. More often, it is weakened quietly through rulings, memos, selective interpretations, and institutions that begin to forget the moral purpose of their own powers. The same editorial warned that once a significant opposition platform is seen to be immobilized by administrative interpretation and political manipulation rather than defeated in competition, public trust in the neutrality of the electoral process begins to erode. This lie was even more direct, arguing in an opinion piece today that the APC is deliberately identifying and elevating individuals within opposition parties to foment division, provoke litigation, and ultimately render those parties incapable of fielding valid candidates for the 2027 general elections, describing it not as political happenstance, but as a calculated project to engineer a de facto one-party state. On Inec's legal justification, the paper argued that if a court directs parties to maintain the status quo, that means preserving the existing state of affairs, not annihilating it, describing Inec's interpretation as the judicial equivalent of burning down the house in the name of protecting it. The APC, however, offered a counter-narrative. Lagos APC spokesperson Seyi Oladejo maintained that democracy is governed by laws and institution procedures, not by sentiment, entitlement, or what he called alarmist propaganda. Many analysts also see the protest as strongly linked to the 2027 general election, noting that the ADC has been viewed as a potential platform for a broader opposition coalition, meaning any disruption to its structure carries major political implications ahead of the next year election cycle. Despite the crisis, the ADC is refusing to back down. National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi said on Channels Television, "One thing I can guarantee is that we'll go contest the 2027 on the ADC platform. We still have confidence in the judiciary. We believe we have a slam dunk case." Champion newspaper concluded the road to 2027 is about much more than the next presidential election. It is about whether Nigeria will remain recognizably committed to competitive democracy or drift towards a hollowed out system in which the forms of election survive but genuine choice has been extinguished. So there you have it, a nation at crossroads, powerful opposition figures in the streets, Inec under fire, and the 2027 elections looming large. The question Nigeria must answer is this: is this a genuine fight for democracy or political theater by ambitious men? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Share this video. Subscribe for our daily Nigerian political updates. And as always, stay informed. Stay vigilant. Nigeria belongs to all of us. Until I see you on the next video, remain blessed.